In a world where fame and fortune seem to go hand in hand, the lives of celebrities often appear nothing short of glamorous and carefree. But what happens when the glitter fades and the bank accounts dwindle? Today, we're diving deep into the shocking stories of how some of the most famous faces have seen their fortunes slip away. From reckless spending and lavish lifestyles to poor investment choices and legal battles. Let's peel the curtain and take a closer look at the financial falls of the most famous celebrities of all time. Let's start our list with the former world heavyweight champion, Mike Tyson, famously known as the baddest man on the planet. With an impressive fighting career, at the peak of his prowess, Tyson amassed over $400 million in earnings. However, fame didn't shield Tyson from a financial knockout. In 2003, he found himself grappling with bankruptcy, facing a staggering $23 million debt. But how did this happen? Tyson was known for his lack of willpower. At one point, his lifestyle cost him around $400,000 monthly to maintain. He spent over $410,000 on his birthday and had around $230,000 worth of cell phones and pagers, owned a fleet of cars, and even a pet tiger that was nothing but cheap. These extravagant expenses left Tyson in the red, compounded by people taking advantage of him, taxes, and a hefty divorce settlement. Today, he claims to be out of the financial hole. With movie appearances, his own show, and book deals, Tyson is back in the ring, not as a fighter, but as a financial contender, aiming to keep his debts in check. Next up, we've got the one and only Stanley Kirk Burrell, or as we all know him, MC Hammer. This dude dropped an album called Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him back in 1990, making him a whopping $33 million. That's a serious cash jam. But in 1996, MC Hammer hit the brakes and filed for bankruptcy. So what happened? A $12 million mansion with 3 waterfalls and a mini army of 200 people working there, a collection of vehicles including a private jet, 2 helicopters, a limo, and various luxury cars, and a passion for racehorses contributed to his financial downfall. MC Hammer might still be dealing with the aftermath, making payments to the IRS for back taxes. But don't count him out just yet. This guy continues to hit the stage, performing in shows and creating new music, proving that the beat goes on even after facing financial setbacks. Now, let's talk about the rapper everyone knows, Curtis Jackson, also known as 50 Cent. He's the guy behind bangers like In Da Club and Candy Shop. And trust me, that's just the tip of the iceberg. He's basically the king of cool tunes. 50 Cent stacked up more than $100 million in his lifetime, and such an amount seems hard to spend. Or not. He began focusing more on his appearance, often seen with beautiful women, and developed a taste for bling and luxury items. He also had an obsession with luxury cars that included a branded car that featured at several premieres. A few years later, he was deep in Chapter 11 bankruptcy, agreeing to pay back $23 million over 5 years. Today, 50 Cent isn't just a rap icon. He's making waves as a top Hollywood producer. Word on the street is that his net worth is a cool $40 million now. 50 Cent's story is one wild ride from bankruptcy battles to Hollywood hustle. The next celebrity is Larry King, the familiar face from CNN's Larry King Live. But guess what? Before the glitz of his TV days, Larry had a financial roller coaster. In 1971, he hit a rough patch and got accused of grand theft, basically pocketing $5,000 from Lewis Wolfson. Even though the charges were later dropped, the damage was done. Larry lost his radio gig and started at a $352,000 debt. Feeling the squeeze, he decided to hit the reset button and filed for bankruptcy in 1978. Fortunately, bankruptcy turned out to be Larry's comeback ticket. He used that second chance to fix things and get back on track. At 16, Kim Basinger kicked off her Hollywood journey, gracing TV screens, including a spot on 1976's Gemini Man. Her career soared until 1992 when she hit a financial speed bump at the peak of her fame. It all happened after she verbally agreed to lead a film, but instead she got slapped with a breach of contract lawsuit, while her backing out caused an estimated $6.4 million loss in potential sales worldwide. Kim had to fork over $7.4 million in damages, which took a toll on her finances. Next up is Dennis Rodman. Known for his fierce basketball skills, 5 NBA championships, wild marriage to Carmen Electra, high-profile fling with Madonna, unconventional antics, and unique sense of style, he was caught up in financial struggles. Despite making millions during his basketball days, Rodman's fortune took a hit from lavish spending and legal trouble. Adding to the mix, bankruptcy followed his divorce, leaving him with a hefty $860,376 in child and spousal support debts. When things got tough with Rodman, His attorneys revealed that he was not just broke, but also extremely sick. Keeping up with his own expenses became a challenge, let alone handling those for his child and ex-wife. Another well-known celebrity who filed for bankruptcy is the legendary American author and comic book writer Mark Twain. Driven by his dissatisfaction with his old publisher, Twain took charge of publishing his own books, but this decision ended up causing his financial downfall. He invested his money in developing an automatic typing system, but things went south when his typesetting machine faced delays and was eventually abandoned. Talk about bad timing. With his funds running low and the publishing dream slipping away, Twain had no choice but to declare bankruptcy. The legendary Marvin Gaye is the next on our roller coaster ride of celebrity finances. If you're not familiar with Marvin, he's this Motown superstar with hits and Grammy nominations under his belt.
Yes, thank you very kindly, ladies and gentlemen. I am not very much for speeches. I'm not much of a public speaker, I always say that.
But his life took a different tune and a financial bump when he didn't pay up the alimony money owed to his ex-wife. Rumor has it to be around $600,000 in unpaid alimony. Isn't that a big bill? So in 1976, Marvin had to declare bankruptcy. As part of this money mess, he agreed to hand over all the money he'd make from his next album, Here, My Dear, to his ex-wife. But unfortunately, there was a tragic turn of events. He was shot by his own father in 1984, leading to his untimely demise. Moving on next to none other than Meat Loaf, the American rock legend. Meat Loaf is known for his incredible live shows and booming voice that can rock the house. He's not just a musician, he's also shown his acting skills in over 50 films and TV gigs. But Meat Loaf's downfall began when he found himself in a rough patch with his record label, which led to filing bankruptcy. The label threw around $80 million in lawsuits at him, with 45 lawsuits in total. But guess what? Our rock star life didn't end there. Meat Loaf and the record label eventually settled their differences, and out came Bat Out of Hell 2, Back into Hell. This project soared, selling over 14 million copies worldwide. Talk about a musical comeback that rocked the charts. At the next spot, we've got Stephen Baldwin, one of the Baldwin brothers known for his roles in films like The Usual Suspects and The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. In 2009, Stephen declared bankruptcy, which wasn't a small sum. He claimed a whopping $2 million in debt, including multiple mortgages totaling $1.2 million on a house that was valued at $1.1 million. He also owed the tax authorities around $1 million in back taxes and ended up getting a 2-year stint for not paying up. Despite his fame, Stephen Baldwin couldn't escape the grip of financial troubles. Now, let's shine the spotlight on Burt Reynolds, one of the big-name celebrities on our list. If that name doesn't ring a bell, he was a mega Hollywood sensation in the groovy 1970s, rocking it in numerous blockbuster films.
Play this. Talk to me, my boy. God damn it, son, we gave it our best shot.
Oh, and he even snagged a Golden Globe Award for his role in Boogie Nights. But Burt wasn't exactly the budget-friendly type. Nope, he lived large with mansions, a ranch, and yes, a helicopter too. The guy knew how to spend. However, his lavish lifestyle had consequences, leading him to hit the bankruptcy button in 1998. Rumor has it he owed $10 million to his creditors. Sadly, in 2018, Burt Reynolds took his final bow in Jupiter, Florida at 82. Next is the wild world of Nicolas Cage, the guy with an Academy Award on his shelf and a spot among Hollywood's highest paid actors. Cage wasn't just living large, he was in a league of his own. He often went on a shopping spree that included rare jewelry, a crocodile, a shark, a dinosaur skull, mansions, a private jet, boats, and even the Shah of Iran's Lamborghini. Do you know that Cage wasn't just a millionaire? He spent like a billionaire, ending up with a staggering $14 million in debt. Facing bankruptcy, he had to sell off many of his luxuries and switch to a more down-to-earth lifestyle. Up next now is the king of pop, Michael Jackson. Even with all his musical glory, he faced his fair share of financial moonwalks. With a mansion costing $10 million in yearly maintenance and a history of extensive plastic surgeries, Jackson was spending like there was no tomorrow. You know what? Despite a whopping $1 billion contract, his over-the-top vacations and lavish shopping sprees couldn't match his spending. At the time of his sudden death, Jackson was in massive debt of $500 million, leaving his children with virtually nothing in their pockets. For the next celebrity, let's rewind in time to Abraham Lincoln, the iconic American president. If someone asked you to guess a president who went through bankruptcy, he might not be your top pick. But surprise, surprise, in 1833, before the modern bankruptcy code existed, Lincoln experienced a kind of financial financial downturn. Yep, he had a business that didn't quite work out. Debts piled up and bankruptcy knocked on his door, but he didn't let that setback define him. Instead, he became one of the most respected presidents of the United States. Talk about turning financial lemons into presidential lemonade. Topping our list at number 1 is another American president who is none other than Donald Trump. Now, unlike the others, Trump's bankruptcy was more on the corporate side, not personal. But do you know the surprising part? Trump has gone through bankruptcy not once, not twice, but 4 times. Considering his bankruptcy track record, Trump, known for boasting about his business acumen, might make you raise an eyebrow. However, his assets stayed safe during these corporate bankruptcies, allowing him to keep the spending train running. Funny enough, Trump admitted that declaring bankruptcy was all part of the plan for his businesses. It's a financial chess game where the pieces on the board might change, but the game continues. Isn't that amazing? Meanwhile, for many celebrities, the desire for fancy things and the lack of smart financial guidance often lead them down the path of bankruptcy. This is a reminder that no matter how famous you are, financial preparation and expert advice are crucial to stay in the game without going broke.